Hey, what's up, you guys? Yes! So, I'm shooting from my living room again, but instead of sitting at the chairs and you seeing like the grandiose backdrop, I'm sitting on the floor in the very back, so you see the couch, and that's about it. And the camera angle is still too low because I don't have money for a tripod or anything, and I'm talking to my phone anyways, so. I don't know exactly what to shoot today, but I think I want to shoot something. Um, the thing is, when I first shot the video of what I watched, whatever, in quarantine, I made a list of the movies I hated the most in the 2010s, like according to the worldwide top 100 box office hits. And I still have that list, so I'm like, yeah, why not just do that? I could just do that. So, um, and I don't know if I should go from like 2019 to 2010 or from 2010 to 2019. Um, well, we'll see. I think I'll just start with the 2010s because in 2010 I was 12 years old, and to be honest, I just like erase every memory I have of movies in general. So up until probably 2016, this is just like me complaining about stuff that I barely remember. Which should be fine. Yeah, let's just jump right into it. Hi guys, editing me. Quick disclaimer, I have two things to say. First is I talk about movies people love and I rant about them for a very long time. I'm sorry about that. Number two is that I struggled to talk in English for 36 minutes straight, so there are some parts in there where I struggle, but I kept all of it in because I personally think it's hilarious. I hope you find it as hilarious as I find it. Enjoy the video. Bye. That was it. 2010 was an interesting year for the box office, the worldwide top 100 box office. In 2010, um, the Hollywood movie industry birthed an abomination, which we know as the Minions. So Despicable Me was made this year, but to be honest, although I hate the concept of Minions and how overrated they are, I still like Despicable Me, but I just put it in this list so that I can look cool and stuff. The next movie in 2010, and this is a true abomination, is The Last Airbender. Why would you take the world's best animated series and turn it into a live action movie for absolutely no reason and make it so horrible that everyone hates it? I don't know, but it still made the list, so. Next up is, I mean, I don't hate this, I just hate the fact that they defiled it so bad, and I'm not talking about The Last Airbender, that was a fiasco. I'm talking about Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, which honestly sucks. Personally, I read the Percy Jackson series as it was published, and I loved it. It was so good. Wait, did I read them as they were published? I don't know. Am I old enough for that? Oh yeah, I was old enough, but I didn't read them when I was 6. They were amazing. They still are amazing, and I want to reread them, but I don't know where they are, which sucks, but it was such a good series, and the fact that they disrespected the series like this with a live action movie this bad really maddened me, and still maddens me today because I loved the series, the book series. They're fucking amazing, but what the fuck? Okay, moving on. The last movie the last movie I watched with my friends quite recently, I think it was like a year ago or something. It's the Robert Pattinson movie, Remember Me? We watched this movie because a friend is a huge fan of the movie and really likes it. I personally hated it. I think it was an abomination, and it is the true definition of an abomination. It's just a typical love story. By the way, spoilers. It's just a typical love story, but at the end, um, the main character dies at 9/11. I'm not gonna disrespect anyone who died at 9/11. I'm so sorry for your losses. I'm really sad about 9/11, but this movie is a true abomination. Whatever. Let's just move on to the next. 2011. Two movies, but one of them, I mean, I don't hate it, but it's not the best movie. Let's just start with the not the best movie. It is I Am Number 4. I watched it as a kid when it came out, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, superpowers. That's it. That's literally it. There is nothing to the movie. It's just a bunch of hot guys being hot and strong and courageous. That's typical. The year 2011 gave us the shame of Ryan Reynolds, which was Green Lantern. Um I mean, I watched that movie and when it came out, and even as a kid, I was 13 years old. Even as a kid, the CGI was um so bad. So I'm not gonna say anything about Green Lantern. I mean, these movies I saw when I was smaller. So I mean, I don't really have an opinion on them that are like analysis based, I guess I could say. I don't know. Whatever. 2012, I couldn't find a lot, like a lot of movies. I hadn't watched a lot of movies that year. Um, so I mean, I don't really know what to say. That year gave us Ted, a Seth Rogen movie, if I'm not mistaken. It was okay. I mean, I really couldn't find anything to put down here, so I just put that down, and it's not that bad of a movie. So, whatever. 2013. There are four movies here, and one of them, it was a good movie, but I mean, the first movie, it's a good movie. It's Gravity, but it kind of if I'm not remembering incorrectly, it kind of fell like on the same timeline as Interstellar being out. And I remember watching Interstellar and being so wowed by it. And then I watched Gravity a very short time later. A short while later, I guess would be a better way to say it, whatever. I watched it and it wasn't that good. I mean, as good as Interstellar, but it's still an okay movie. I mean, Sandra Bullock, what else do I want, right? With short lesbian hair. It was a good movie, but it was kind of like overshadowed by Interstellar, is what I want to say. Whatever, let's just move on. Next movie is Man of Steel. The fact that they had to, if I'm not mistaken, it's this movie. Henry Cavill was the name of the dude. He played Superman and he didn't want to shave off his mustache, so the CG, is it this one or the next one? I really hope it's not this one. I mean, I didn't like the movie. I'm sick and tired of Superman movies because there are a lot of them. I don't know. I mean, I really don't have an opinion on it, and it was okay. Action-based superhero movie, Superman, whatever. Who cares, right? Sorry, but if I'm not, oh my god, the next movie. If I'm not mistaken, this is the worst movie of the. Is it that one? Wait, I have to look this up. I don't want to mess it up. The next movie is Jesus Christ. It's A Good Day to Die Hard. This movie I have not watched, and there's a reason for it. I love the first three Die Hard movies. I think they're iconic. The first and third one are my absolute favorites. But A Good Day to Die Hard is John McClane going on vacation in Moscow, and he gets to do his bullshit detective stuff in Moscow. Because, socialism, communists, we don't want that as an American people, and I'm not the American people, and I still get subjected to that. That movie, I refuse to watch, and the storyline is, if it's as absurd as it sounds, I never want to watch it. Let's just move on. The movie series that started in 2013 and is an absolute shame of and waste of money. I don't know how to put it. It's The Purge. It started in 2013. Why? I mean, whatever. I mean, there are of course some fans of The Purge. They love it. They love the concept, whatever. Not for me, no thanks. In 2014, I only have one movie for 2014. And the thing is, it's on this list and not the rest because it started with this movie. It's Divergent, I don't know how you pronounce it. It started in 2014, the series. They're like, oh my god, look at how quirky and fun I am, and I'm a girl of quirkiness. What for, lady? I hate that series. I mean, I was a teenager when it came out. I was 16 and I hated it so much. It was so bad, and I never want to watch it ever again. Disgusting. Okay, sorry if the framing is a little different. I wasn't sure it was recording, so stop. Thank you. 2015, I didn't have a movie for 2015, so I just put the man from Uncle here because Henry Cavill, I don't know why, but I hate him. He's shaped like a Dorito and has the facial features of everyone who is conventionally beautiful in America. I don't know. And the movie, I mean, listen, I watched this movie. It was trying so hard to be quirky and it was failing so bad in it. I just didn't like it. Let's just move on. And finally, we're in 2016, so I kind of know what I'm talking about from this point on. Let's just jump into it. The first movie is, listen, we all know it sucks. We all hate this movie, and we all hate what Jared Leto did with the Joker. It's the Suicide Squad. The only good thing that came out of Suicide Squad was Birds of Prey and Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. That's legitimately it. It was, again, trying so hard to be dark and quirky, but it failed at it so bad that I hate it, and I still do, and I don't want to think about it anymore, and I fucking hate Suicide Squad. There's literally not much else to talk about with Suicide Squad. That's just it. The next movie is, I might be stoned for this opinion, but it is Captain America Civil War. I read the Civil War comics, the comic series. A friend of mine gifted it to me as a birthday present. I love the series, the comic series, because it makes sense. There are some plot points that make you go, wow, you know? But with Civil War, I feel like it was just to, because everyone loved Iron Man so much that they didn't like any other character as much as they were. I mean, they weren't a fan of any other character as much as they were fans of Iron Man, of Tony Stark, because he kicked off the MCU basically. I mean, his movie, the Iron Man movie did. And to be honest, I don't like Captain America, the character Steve Rogers, that much anyways. I love Tony Stark though, so I know which side I'm gonna choose. I mean, I think the studio knew as well which side everyone was gonna choose, which is the side of Tony Stark, because to be honest, yeah, people like Steve Rogers because he's Captain America and beautiful and has the serum steroid type of situation. But honestly, no one cares about Steve Rogers as much as they care about Iron Man, Tony Stark. That's just the bitter truth. But they like Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, I guess. Everyone loves him, including me. He's my precious little baby, and I love him. I just don't like Steve and I love Tony. So I knew which side I was going to choose. Can I just stop thinking about talking about this? I'm so sorry. Um the way they shot and wrote the movie, they wanted you to see how deranged Tony's way of thinking was, and to make you choose Steve's side, but they ended up making it so obvious that they wanted you to choose Steve's side that it was so annoying for me. I just didn't like the movie. I'm sorry. I mean, I hated it. I hated what it stood for so much. And I still chose Tony's side because I think he has the right to, be mad because he killed his parents and whatever. Oh, sorry, spoilers, by the way. But I just hated this movie so much. I think it's an abomination in the MCU. I mean, the MCU is not that good to start with. I don't know. I think it's just like that tiny little dark mark the MCU has in my head that kind of made me not want to watch the rest of the MCU as passionately as I did the previous movies, which is quite a shame actually. I was a big fan of MCU up until Civil War. And that's facts. The last movie of 2016, which was an absolute abomination of a movie. I know I use the word abomination a lot, but I don't have any other words. English is not my native language, and I frankly don't care. Was Passengers. Oh god, it was it was such a bad movie that I don't know what else to say. I watched it thinking that it was gonna be an amazing movie because the plot was so interesting and I was so interested in it, and I imagined that it would be, I don't know, that it would be kind of like changing my view on some subjects, like as in space, but you're watching a drama in space, but it's not really space based, it's character based, and how flawed these characters, whatever. The thing is, they show you how lonely that Chris Pratt's character is, and he opens Aurora's pod, but I can't help but think that he is a villain the entire time. And the point of them showing us how badly Chris Pratt's character was doing in the beginning was that we could sympathize with him and accept and agree on the choice he made by opening Aurora's pod, which honestly does not make it any better what he did to her. He basically killed her in space. I don't know. I mean, I love this YouTuber called Nerdwriter1. I'll link his channel down below. He's absolutely amazing. And he made a video about this movie. Honestly, I 100% agree with him. They could have easily rearranged the movie and made him look like a villain at the beginning and then give him like this kind of redemption arc. I think that's not what he was talking about. I mean, I think he was talking about him looking like a villain, like in the beginning through to the end. I mean, it would have been amazing if he was a villain, but he was not. And honestly, it fell very flat. If that's very landed very flat. I don't know what the idiom is. I don't, whatever. I'm not good with English. Let's just move on. 2017 gave us the movie I probably hate the most in the world that everyone else loves. Everyone loves, and that's Lady Bird. I don't relate to Lady Bird. I don't like Greta Gerwig's movies. I hate her her directing style. I hate her characters and how over the top they always are. I don't fuck with Greta Gerwig. I'm so sorry. And I don't fuck with Lady Bird at all. It's such a bad movie. I mean, okay, it's not a bad movie. I just hate it with a passion. This movie was the reason I made this list, by the way. I just didn't want to shit on Lady Bird the entire time. I don't like it. That's all I'm gonna say. I fucking hate this movie. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, which is not that bad for a movie I watched. I hate it. I mean, it was an okay movie. I just hated the plot so much. It was so bad. Whatever. Let's just move on. 2017 gave us another abomination, which was the live action version of Beauty and the Beast. Emma Watson was definitely the wrong choice for this. Her voice is not that good, and it doesn't fit Belle at all. I mean, I get it. She's really pretty. She is a Belle, but her voice is absolutely horrible. And I mean, it's not absolutely horrible, but it just doesn't fit the image of Belle I have in my mind. Whatever. I mean, I just don't like this movie. I love the cartoon, and I know some people find it problematic, but it was my favorite growing up. So I just love it. Whatever, let's just move on to the next year. I'm honestly, I even seeing Ladybird makes me want to puke, so let's just move on. Next up is 2018. I only have two movies here. I mean, I don't have a lot of movies like it on my list anyways. 2018 was not this, I mean, it was a good year for cinema, I guess, but there are two movies that I personally did not enjoy. One of them is The Nun. I saw it with my brother and my, what is it called, sister-in-law, I guess. My brother's wife. We saw it all together. They wanted to see like a stupid horror movie, and I said, yeah, why not? It was, when I say it was the worst movie I ever saw, worst horror movie, I mean it. And I understand now that I've seen Hereditary how bad it actually is. And Hereditary came out in 2017. Why would you like, whatever, in comparison to Hereditary, The Nun is absolute trash, and like the storyline is kind of stupid, but whatever. I really don't want to talk about The Nun. It's just kind of lame as a movie. The last movie of 2018 is Ready Player One. I read the book of Ready Player One. I mean, at least the first 50 pages. And um, I hated the book because it was like, oh, look, it's the 80s. I played video games in the 80s, and I'm going to put 500 references in every page. And it just kind of annoyed me so much that I just didn't enjoy reading the book. I hated the reading experience of it. But I really liked the subject. It was a pretty decent storyline, and the first quest was real. I read the book until up until the first quest. It was amazing. Um, Ready Player One lost my attention the moment they revealed what the first quest was, because it was so interesting in the book, and in the movie it was just so, oh, look at the CGI we can do, that I just didn't like it. And it was, I mean, it was an interesting take on a subject like this, but I just didn't like it. I'm sorry. The movie, it was a popcorn movie, but it wasn't that good. I don't know, whatever. It's just the interesting thing is, I think Steven Spielberg directed this one. What happened, man? Whatever, let's just move on to the last year we have, which is 2019. The movie that everyone loved and I hated to my core was Toy Story 4. I hated how they, I mean, it was kind of disrespecting to the original trilogy, to be honest. I mean, Toy Story is so iconic, and I mean, listen, you ended it on Toy Story 3 and you made it clear this is the end. I mean, this is the end of our childhood. And then you announced, oh, wait, let's just make another movie and make some money. I don't want that. Who wants that? And like, oh, God. And whatever. I just didn't like Toy Story 4. It was really lame, and I just didn't like it. Honestly, it was just okay, which is not fitting of Toy Story or Pixar. It was really interesting. After Coco, it's just such disrespect, basically. It was just so annoying. Whatever, let's just move on. Um, the movie, we have this thing in, I don't know if other cinemas do it in Aachen. There is a concept of a sneak preview or a sneak peek movie, where you buy tickets for a movie you don't know what it is. You have no idea, but you still go in and watch it. Um, we got tickets for the sneak preview, and unfortunately, we had to watch Escape Room. Um, yeah, Escape Room was amazing. It was so bad, and I had to sit through it. And honestly, I went with a couple of other friends, and we were laughing our asses off at how bad it was. And it's still, listen, we saw Flatliners, the new one that came out in 2017, I think. The same way we bought tickets for sneak preview, and it was before the movie was first released. I mean, before the release date in Germany. We saw it. It was the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life, but it wasn't in the top movies at the worldwide box office, in the top 100. So I couldn't put it in this list, and I couldn't believe that I saw Escape Room on this list. It's crazy. What the fuck? Like, the thing with Escape Room is you think that it's over, but then another scene comes up, and then you think it's over, but no, there's another scene. And then you think it's over. No, there is another scene. Just stop trying to push sequels down our throats. I don't want a sequel. I will not see Escape Room 2. It was so stupid. It was, oh god, I only liked the movie because Daredevil's Karen was playing in it. The only thing I liked about it was her, and that's literally it. It was so bad. Whatever, let's just move on to our last movie, and I'll just put this down. Of course it's Little Women. It's Little Women. Of course it's Little Women. The reason I thought I didn't like Lady Bird was because I didn't like the script. But turns out it was also Greta Gerwig's directing. I couldn't stand it. Honestly, I just wanted to walk out of the movie. And I think it's overrated. I think both Lady Bird and Little Women are overrated, but especially Little Women. I mean, yeah, I get it. Lady Bird, it tells a story, I mean, a coming of age story, and I respect that. And I know that a lot of people love that kind of story. We were talking about this with my friends literally yesterday. I don't know if it's the American culture that we don't understand or if it's just not that good. I don't think I understand the movie as well or as, yeah, let's just say that I don't understand the movie as well as Americans do, I guess. I just don't understand what the hype is, especially with Little Women. It's not that good of a movie. I mean, there was an adaptation before, and oh god, it's just not that good of a movie. And in the beginning till the end, there were back and forth between the past and the present, which I respect. Of course, I respect that, but at first, I mean, the thing is, some directors like to show this with a change in contrast, or maybe put it in black and white with Hannibal. I don't know, a change of tone, a change of clothes, a change of whatever. In the beginning, you couldn't tell what was past and what was present because there was nothing indicating it. I mean, I get what Greta Gerwig was trying to do by making the scenes a little less warmer and bluer, like as we were progressing towards the end in the present time, because her sister was dying. I get that, but in the beginning I just couldn't tell if we were in the past or the present, and that bothered me so much. I was like, oh, we're doing this now, I guess. And then I was like, oh, we're doing this now, I guess. And I had to do this guessing game, and it was so annoying, and everything was the same, and it was just so boring to look at. I just didn't like it. mean, I liked the costumes, which I later found out were not like in accordance with the date of the book or the movie. I mean, when it was taking place. It's just so, I don't know, I was just so bored by watching it, and I just didn't want to keep on going, and it was literally, it just sucked the life out of me. I just didn't like the movie. I don't know, yeah, everyone likes Timothy Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan and love the dynamic between the two, and they just love seeing those two, and they love that Greta Gerwig does female empowerment, yay, feminism. I'm just so bored of it. I'm bored of seeing the same thing over and over again. And the fact that people call Greta Gerwig the best female director right now is kind of disrespectful towards Lynn Ramsey, who directed my absolute favorite movie, You Were Never Really Here. I'm sorry, it had to be said, it's not that good. And honestly, I personally think it was kind of disrespectful to the Academy to nominate Little Women as the best picture of 2019. Seriously? Oh god, I mean, I get it. You don't want to upset the feminists and people who love Greta Gerwig, but it just wasn't as good as the other movies in that category. I mean, to compare it to Parasite, I don't know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was not as good of, I mean, it wasn't the best movie of Quentin Tarantino, but it still was significantly better than Little Women. I don't know, I just don't like that movie at all, and I just hate Greta Gerwig's directing, whatever, I just fucking hate it so much. Whatever. I'm sorry for this rant, but I honestly don't know I don't get what the hype is about. Please, if you're mad at what I'm saying right now, please tell me what I'm doing wrong in the comments. I honestly don't know. I don't like the movie. It's just so, oh god. Okay, I'll just shut up about this. I'm really sorry. I don't mean to offend anyone who likes it. Of course you can like it because, you know, Greta Gerwig touches on subjects of feminism, and I think some people like that, and I get it. I mean, I like seeing feminism being depicted or being shown, and that's one of the problems. It's not being depicted, it's being said in the script, which is such a boring way of defending feminism. I don't know, I'm just so annoyed. Whatever, let's just move on to the end, I guess. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tweet me at David Dobrik. I'm joking. I don't know. I'm sorry if I, again, offended anyone with these movies. I just didn't like them, and, you know, you can't argue what your favorites are because they are just your favorites. So yeah, thanks for watching again. I'll see you guys. Bye. I don't know how to finish this because I'm still so heated about Little Women. So yeah, bye. I guess. Bye.